Hello, hello. Welcome to my stream. It's sorry, it's the late night talks with Romantic Developer, and today we have our episode number 174. Let me double check if I could hear sound. Give me a sec. And let's see. It's okay. Yeah, it's it's here. So let's start. Um, in our streams, we talk about everything, replying your comments, discussing recent news in the world in AI sphere or area. As well, we're looking into some practical uh, tools, practical exercises, and do some small coding task. We're trying to do it every day, every stream, and eventually we develop and improve something which we call YouTube AI helper, which helped not only YouTubers but actually any video creators to transcribe their video, to create nice subtitles, and to answer multiple questions like the best title for those videos, the best descriptions, the best keywords, and so on and so on. Possibilities are endless, like people like to say in marketing videos. Also, recently we start building other things like live chatbot, which we should start really soon. And and I think that it. So to start with, maybe I need to do something like that. Put some screen closer to me so we could. And let me slightly improve the angle. Yeah, I like my camera, which is at home, much better than that thing, but it's what we have right now. Also, let me quickly check any comment section. I believe we should have some new comments. So now I still don't use my automatic bot for removing some spam comments, but it's something we plan to do very soon. Okay, I received some comment about stream 172, so 2 streams ago, that it was pretty good. Thank you very much. I'm not sure what is good, what is not, but it's the only comment I received recently, except multiple spam bots, but they block and report very quickly. Hopefully, it could improve ecosystem in YouTube. So we need to start our Visual Studio Code. So let's switch quickly to. Oh, by the way, what it happened if we switch here, here? Okay, we don't have any nice Christmas video playing at the moment. As you see here, I just executed recent command to, yeah, it was some issues. I fixed some code issues because it didn't work with some models which doesn't support, mm, it didn't work properly. Our recent changes with Azure type of this thing. I use Azure as well to call OpenAI API. So I fixed that, and I just called several commands to transcribe and improve last stream starting from some point because we set an error, and I executed improve stream, improve, I'm sorry, subtitles, process prompts to create everything we need, like title, description, everything, and then update YouTube to go to YouTube and update everything will go. But normally we execute something like just that. Full process, update YouTube, and it's the command. And I'm going to build it into web, which could listen uh, uh, our channel to see if there are any new updates. And once some type of the video is ready, it could look into its external logic, and probably for the streams, it could immediately execute that process itself. And I even don't need to press any button, and I always will have the streams well described, and so on and so on. Okay, uh, so let's just start code. Okay, let's start it on different screen. Let's move to that screen. Okay, so and we have some changes here, which interesting why it's even propose us to add some videos. If I'm not mistaken, we put into video something like git ignore. Did it work or no? Videos. Can we just refresh it? I'm not sure what's going on here, but you see, yeah, probably you don't see very well, but we have a git ignore set in the videos, and it should ignore the whole folder, but for some reason it ignores only part of that videos in that folder. Okay, anyway, let's slightly improve, yeah, increase the font size, and let's go to our news folder, and today is 4th. So let's remove previous news because we executed it really soon, so it mostly short. And go to our test IPNB and execute something like what is that? Okay, I remember. We try to create shorts here. Okay, guys, sorry. I don't remember that code at all. Don't save. Is it test? And let me see. It's YouTube Helper AI. Okay. And it's test. Okay. That looks more familiar. Mm-hmm. Looks like we opened wrong test for some reason. Oh, I see. Okay. Those videos, not in that folder, which we yeah, we used to have. So it's open top level folder for all yeah, for everything in our Git repository. So not only that folder, that's why we see so many additional files like videos, and that combines files, everything which we actually don't need here. Okay, it explains a lot, but let's go here and let's see if we have. Okay, we don't have. So let's clear. Let's restart the kernel. And for our discussion starters, let's execute everything on top, and that's it. So let's start our discussion with today's news. It get our last 6 streams, and it tried to find top news for like top generic news, and then it tried to find top AI news. It extract information from original link, as you see, from BBC, from US, Hindustan Times, Reuters. Okay, and it looks like from Reuters it's taking some time, but once it extracts all the files, all the folders, it will store the result into the news here. So news general, it will be those news, those 3 news, and for news AI, we have only one news. No, I don't want to remove. I just want to show the full content, and full content is really small. And why is that? Why is that? Let's see. Item has a simpler top-level structure, parsing directly, no valid URL provided on empty text. So, yeah, looks like we need to review it, but yeah, it doesn't return a lot of information. Okay, anyway, let's copy that and let's try to create new file, and it would be markdown. Do it. Okay. No. Let's create new file, and okay, markdown. It's understand it. Let's open preview, and we now can discuss what we see in the news section. So first question to us is about US winter storms. I like those icons. So let's see. Context: severe winter storm has prompted Kentucky and Virginia to declare a state of emergency, potentially making this the coldest January in US since 2011. With temperature dropping and daily life getting frosty, how do you think technology, especially in software development, can help communities stay connected and safe during such extreme weather events? Okay, the AI always asks me some tricky questions. I think it's not about software development, it's more about hardware development. Um, if people live in some areas where it could get frosty, uh, I know what's happening when it's getting windy. When it's getting windy, multiple trees can fall and they broke electricity, and people sit without electricity, and as a result, without internet access. And in many cases, even cellular network is getting much worse. Sometimes it's go away. So in places where some such events are possible, people need to think about having alternate option to power their home, their devices, solar stations, and so on. So most probably it could be some solar panels, some power station, power batteries, which could charge it while it has electricity, and it should, yeah, provide electricity while it's not It's not present in the main line. And when people live in the distant locations where electricity could be broken for multiple days, they should think about some alternate option for keeping their houses warm, probably fireplaces or different different alternate approaches to keeping them warm, which relies maybe on some other materials than electricity to work. It's what I can say. It would be the same in software development. I mean, they already doing a lot of. So I'm thinking about if something is bad, how software development can help. Mm, I personally was included in the team which developed some of the first application to help uh, people in the United States fight with COVID. And it was very simple application which gather information from multiple hospitals, including their supplies, including their free ICU beds, and so on and so on, and gather it in one single place in cloud, and people can go and check the situation on in different places where there are some capacity, where there are no capacity. It was dynamic maps, and they could see where the situation is worse, where it's better, and you know, they could, yeah, do some moving of the patients between hospitals to, oh, I forgot that word, to make it less severe, let's say that. So they could balance the work and the pressure on the medical systems with with such things like here, with such emergencies. Of course, something similar can happen. So people need to understand very clearly the situation in each place of the state, in each city, in near each house. Of course, there should be some personnel who will put that information into the database, but also it should be a global response for that. So, but I'm more than sure that such systems exist, taking into account the number of emergencies United States been through. So I don't think it's something which software development can really help at the moment. New Orleans, Ballard Bolander, okay, on the crash rate. New street barriers on the crash rated for 10 miles per hour impact failing to prevent vehicle attack. What are thoughts on the balance city officials face between operational ease and security effectiveness? And can smart technology offer better solution to protect public space without sacrificing functionality? I'm more than sure that it's not so complex to build some barriers which could resist more than 10 miles per hour impacts. It should be pretty simple. I believe such barriers exist when we try to enter some government high security buildings. Uh, I saw them. Probably it would be very hard on normal car go through that barrier. It can be implemented on multiple streets, which could be public in some time, so they just could raise from the ground and become a barrier. That is. What about smart technology? Smart technology can be used to identify in advance such possibilities of such events, because as we spoke on previous streams, it's very hard to plan such event uh, if you work in groups without any information, yes, leak somewhere. Technical question, next level chatbot capabilities. Made great strides in making. Thank you. What exciting features or integration I consider next to make chatbots even more interactive and tailored to your community needs? Mood-based response? Okay, come on, you already asked that. It would be in the future. Right now, I just don't want it to reply every comment. So I will include some small analysis before it will answering a question, just to understand if it should replace that question. Maybe that question addressed to someone else and bot should just skip it. And that should be included into the overall context as well. For analyzing if it should reply the question or not, probably we'll use smaller context just to make that call even cheaper. Exciting news discussion. Okay, it's only one article we could get. So AI takes note in healthcare. The healthcare industry is tuning to AI-powered scribes for medical note-taking, aiming to streamline documentation and reduce patient-doctor time spent on paperwork. How do you envision AI scribes transforming the healthcare field? And could similar AI-driven tools be applied to enhance interaction in live streaming or as other areas in your work? Now, it's pretty related to my work right now, and I could say, of course, it will enhance interaction because since a lot of doctors do during visits of patients, it just constantly taking notes, writing on computers, because they have to provide some after visit summary, after visit notes, um, and they need to put a lot of information. Sometimes nurses helping them with that, but if doctor talking to you, looking at you and see your reaction and can talk to you naturally, of course it's better than doctor just asking question and putting it into the computer. And again, recognizing that speech is very old technology. It's not even fully AI. Right now, like AI models can do it pretty well. And our streams, our tools which we built on our streams, it's an example. We use Whisper, which is open source free model. We use it also as part of SDK just to increase the speed of it. And it's cost a really small amount of money. And it's proves that it's pretty cool, pretty cool. It's recognized mostly any word and do very low number of mistakes. So something like notes could be done automatically. More than that, sometimes AI can even suggest some medicine, some prescriptions. Again, it should act like copilot, so it should just propose something, and doctor should say okay or not okay. And of course, there are much more steps in that interaction because sometimes doctors spend a fortune trying to understand what insurance patient has, is it covered, some um, prescription or not, and yeah, in in that exercise he spent so much time. It can be automated, and of course it could save a lot of time, save a lot of doctor mood, uh, make patients more happier because when patients go to doctor, they're already not happy because when you need to see a doctor, it's never a good mood. It's very rarely a good mood and good reason for that. So yeah, it's what we have discussed today, and now we can switch back to our code. And let's think what would be our next function here. So we have, let's let's see what we have here. Maybe maybe let's close this. Posterize time. What is that? And let's go one level up and open. Oh, open it here because I don't see all the files we need. Okay, then we can drop those videos folder. We don't need it. And let's see what we have. Combined files, prepare files for LLM query, and we look for those files in folder, and starting folder would be main. Starting folder would be this folder. You know, was pass join starting dir and not, but yeah, I want local Python, and let's try to go and yeah, create. I like command prompt because it go in our virtual environment, and we just say Python combined. No, prepare files are not defined. Did you mean filter? Really? Combine file contents files. Maybe we collect files starting there. Let's call it files. Okay, maybe it's okay. Now we have it here. And which file we have? Start is YouTube Python AI client and generate schema. Okay, tools. We could copy all of those and go to our some of our ChatGPT. It's where we discussed uh, our news, our code before. So my latest code is, let's put our latest code. I want to improve chatbot functionality. First, I want to read global, not global. How we have that prompt? Let's go to our code and like chatbot. Let's let's increase slightly our fonts. I want to read system message in handle message. function from, and it would be prompt with predefined name, chatbot response prompt txt. Let's see the format of our bot, AI bot prompts. It could be just keywords txt. Okay, let's just make it txt. I want dynamically insert, replace all available functions which we have in. Where we have our functions, it would be probably here. Okay, we have in live chatbot functions here. I want to include in the messages and in the handle message functionality context more information about user asking a question like its name, ID, to properly identify the same person in context. Okay, I want to add functionality to analyze each question, each message, and take a decision if chatbot should reply on it or skip. Skip. Maybe message is not addressed to chatbot, or chatbot could provide a lot of help in some discussion and could be too talkative or even aggressive. Let make this additional prompt configurable as well. Okay, what else we want to improve? It's our start time. So it would be configurable. Okay. Information about if we decided to skip some message should be added in context as well. I think that would be cool. Add global, add another function which will provide global context about stream host and stream series. It will read it from config file, probably stream info txt as well. Also, I will be happy if you propose any additional recommendation how to make this bot even better. Please help with the final code. Make it very good, please. Okay, let's see how it will handle that large prompt. It's a one. It's a model available to anyone with simplest subscription to ChatGPT. So I'm using it. I yeah, I'm trying not to use the most sophisticated models yet. Below is complete example. Reading system prompt, auto-generating, including user metadata, deciding whether to reply to skip, adding another function, additional small improvements. Okay, all the changes below are suggestions, feel free. Okay, note, for brevity, the rest of code remains the same as your current. Live chatbot functions. Let's add functions, definition for getStreamInfo. Let's get those functions here. So we add that function getStream. Really? GetStream context. Okay, get last, get latest, general, get stream info. Okay, that would be the one. Provide global context about stream host or the overall stream services reads from stream info txt. Why we need it? I don't know. Let's leave it. Tools. Add new functions, get stream info that reads from stream info txt in your configuration and some non-location tools. Yeah, let's see what we have in tools. It's basically our functions, okay? And that would be our functions. Let's see what we have here. So it's our global config, default config folder, configuration generic, and we just looking in the global config stream info, load file content, no global stream info found. Okay, looks good. So yeah, we need to think about how to put all the configurations in one place. It shouldn't be that complex. Chat response txt. Create a new file in your configuration and name chat response txt. Let's create it in AI bot. New file chat response txt, and let's put that code here. Okay. Message filter. We want second configuration. Let's place it in the same folder config. Let's new file message filter. Let's see. Analyze this user message if it's clearly addressed to the chatbot or specifically request help or function, then answer. If it's not the relevant or best to skip, respond with skip message. Okay. Oh. Updated live chatbot. That does. Okay. Let's go to our live chatbot and see. Let's replace it one by one. So I like it's put all the system imports on the top, all other imports here, and live chatbot specific things at the bottom. Okay. Let's see definition of constructor. It's become much bigger. So here we have just all the classes, empty conversation history, and available functions. And now conversation history. Okay. System prompt pass. Default config folder. Chat responses. AI bot. AI bot. It's where we put our functions and chat responses. It's what we have. Message filter is what we have. System prompt. Filter prompt. Okay. Available functions, tool functions. It's what we got. And we just functions name. Name joined with okay, and replace join functions. Okay. Call tool, we add another get stream info. It should be simple. Okay. Connect to live stream. Maybe. Chatbot is active. Okay. Should respond to message. It's new. Let's insert it and read it here in Visual Studio Code. Should respond to message. Message filter prompt. System user text. Response. Messages. Choices. Message content strip. False true. Okay. Handle message. I like it's updated what we doing here. Okay, looks like it wouldn't be virtual none. I believe now it should be fine. So user metadata, user, author name, user metadata message. Okay, makes sense. I don't like everything. We will discuss what I don't like in a minute. Build our messages. Messages equals system message. Okay, system message already itself. We don't need that. Okay, that also. We just copied that. Okay, response. Step 3. It would be exactly the same functionality. I like that we move it to before. So if finish reason is okay, we get that. Final response, final content, append conversation history, role assistant, else. Yeah, I like that. So we once assign to final content, and then we use it in conversation history, and in return, of course, it saves some space slightly. Else, final content, and do exactly the same here. Run bot loop, stream details, connect, live, none, if true, message publish that, user text, author name, message timestamp. I like it slightly more. Let's replace it. Self-handle message, user text, author name. Okay. If reply. Okay. Final message. So yeah, this logic is better than this because we have hard limit to 200 and not chatbot plus 200. Okay, okay. So that should actually work. Let's test how it's working. And yeah, after that we could we could we could yeah wrap up the stream. So in get stream info, probably configuration. Also, let's try to use it in AI bot. And it would be not generic, but AI bot config cat folder, stream info, new file stream info txt. Mm, Let me, yeah, it's my experiment with Docker. Um, Let me try to build that stream info very quickly. So we could build it. And let's go to our chatbot and say, hey, hey, can you return me a text version of information about the stream CVS and information about the stream host on this channel. Hmm. Okay, maybe let's use it just as is. So it would be our stream info txt, and let's try to start our chatbot and see if it will work. So let's start, and we need basically a stream ID to which it should connect. No. I don't want to save. Let's copy that stream ID. Let's come here and let's execute it. We just need to specify the stream ID. And let's see slightly more about its Python debugging. Oh, it's loose. No. We need probably a romantic developer. Continue, continue. Because we haven't published that application yet, we need to go something like that. And let's see our chat, here. Hi everyone, chatbot is active. Nice. So let's try to let's just try to basic things, answer basic things and see if it will respond or not. So author name, and where is the author name? Romantic developer. It has keyword argument, handle message. Oh, yeah, it's normal situation. Let's re-execute it once again. Probably we need to stop this one and leave only one. Right there, and let's see. Looks like what is none? What is happening here? Okay, let's stop at the handle message and let's ask the question once again and see what we will receive. So variables. We have some variables here and let's see message filter prompt. Skip message. Okay. What is a system message? Okay. So first of all, looks like it couldn't read the proper messages from here. So let's try to see what's going on here. But let's see here. It has message filter prompt. Okay. User text. Let's see. Let's return from here. And response is content is skip message. If skip message, it should return false. Okay. And reply is none. I see. Okay, and now I see it. Okay, it should be done like here because we need to. Okay, now reply is handle message. So reply is none, not reply. Okay, you saw why it's going on. Let's stop it and let's execute it. I hope one last time. Let's choose our stream ID and doing our debug session for not the one. So config name is AI bot. So config, it would be all the clients, etc. Conversation history. Let's see default folder, debug console, generic Azure. Really? Why it's so? So let's look self-config once again. Oh, it's some information, GPT or mini, token file, AI bot, prompts folder, AI bot prompts, default config folder. Looks like when we read from load config from folder, we don't update default config folder. Maybe we just need to. Okay, we understand that. Let's solve it later. But joint functions, we have all the functions, and because it doesn't have any functions, we couldn't replace them. So most probably it will don't know about our function at all. Let's ask what is happening here, and it say that it should return none, and if not reply, we just skip it and go next. So if you like writing something like hi bot, what is this stream about? So I'm asked that. Most probably now it should try to reply to us. Let's see. Okay, let's see the response, content, skip message, message filter prompt. If user wants the bot help, respond with okay, otherwise respond skip message. And it says skip message. And user text, hi bot, what is this stream about? Okay. So we added functionality, but yeah, it's not so helpful so far. Let me quickly fix that sync. So bot from config. Let's use something like okay, looks like some drop token file, prompt folder. Let's use also config folder, result config folder. And prompt folder before prompts folder and prompts folder join before config folder. Okay, yeah. So let's say config folder is this. Let's stop it because we need to read it properly, and we just replace it with our default. 1, 2. Okay, it's here, and let's try to do hopefully the last test for today. Read config, and let's see what is config. Default, oh, just config folder is project RomanticDeveloper AI YouTube helper AI bot. Okay, looks good. So now when it says system prompt pass, it should say something like chat response and load from file, system message template. Yes, and filter prompt pass. Okay, and message filter prompt. Okay, we build the functions, and in system message we replace the functions. Let's look. Okay, we already out of scope. Let's run it. We should continue, and let's start with our hyzer. Okay, let's see if it will. Now it has slightly better sync. It's a hyzer, and response is content skip message. Okay, maybe it's fine. Now let's ask another question. And let's see. We asked, hi bot, what is this stream about? Let's see if it will understand that it should reply or not. Analyze. Content. Skip message. No. Okay, let's ask the same question, but let's ask question like that. Hi, chatbot, please help me. It shouldn't resist, but looks like we need to make the the prompt here slightly less restrictive. It's for sure. Some messages, and it's our filter, it's our user text, and content is I'm here to help. Could you please provide more context about what the stream is referring to? Okay, it's true. So user metadata is gathered, and we just trying to build messages, trying to send a response, and finish reason is function call, and function name is getStreamInfo. Makes sense. So let's call the function, and tool result is, oh, really, no global stream info found. Can we go back here? Is it possible? Jump to cursor. Okay, it's working. And function name is getStreamInfo. Okay. Config folder in that case would be configuration generic Azure, I see. So let's go to here, run, jump to cursor, config. Looks like it doesn't want to jump to that actually into that code execution. But okay. So we need to fix that. But even now, please check again later and provide more details. Let's ask what are the news. What are the most important recent news? And will ask me, reply me if it understands that it should reply. Let's see. F10. No, decide to skip. Okay, so let's work on that bot in our next stream. We did it's too restrictive. I mean, not restrictive. It's too passive, I'd say. It's trying to skip most of the questions. So we need to teach it about which topic it could help, which topic it could reply. And yeah, with that, it would be much more interesting and it will skip some communication between people. Also, probably we need to provide it at least part of context, of previous context, so it should better address our current message, especially if we had some communication with the bot for some time and it replied to us. Like, do you remember, like, we ask about some news and say next, next, next? If we just say next, it should skip, but if we talk about it about news, it should continue. So we will think how we could implement it tomorrow. But yeah, we did some progress and again, maybe we could even control it with some configuration if we should even apply that rule to skip some questions or not. But I believe we should because it shouldn't reply all the questions and it shouldn't be too too straightforward. Like when you say board reply, I mean I don't like it either. So yeah, I think that it for today. As usual, my best wishes to you and to your loved ones. I wish you to build your cozy environment around yourself as well in your heart and spread around yourself some waves of kindness, of love, and try to resolve all the situations, all the things around you with peace and with wisdom rather than with aggression and showing who has the power because it will fail in long distance, of course. So leave me comments, ask your questions, and I'll see you tomorrow or whenever you are ready. I'm streaming here every day starting 11 p.m. PST. So I think that's it. See you guys.